Now, there is ample evidence to believe that Ayers is, obviously for all the professional reasons we know to be true, tied to him this way, but analytically, intellectually, there's ample evidence to believe Barack Obama's book, his first book, Bill Ayers was the ghostwriter. There's ample evidence, and you can look it up. Just search it. Anyway, he concludes this speech in Venezuela, Bill Ayers, back in 2006, declaring Venezuela is poised to offer the world a new model of educational, humanizing, and revolutionary model whose twin missions are enlightenment and liberation. Then he chants. He ends the whole thing with Viva Presidente Chavez and leads the crowd in a chant. Now, where am I going with this? Okay, you say, okay, so you got a nut president down in Venezuela calling for socialism. All right, so we've got an affiliate, an associate, a nutball, domestic terrorist, Bill Ayers, who we know is tied in some capacity. Now, depending, again, whether you want to believe it's deep or not, that's up to you. But again, the evidence sort of precedes any argument I'm going to make here. I mean, if you're not willing to hear it and acknowledge it, then your head's in the ground, and there's nothing I can do for you. You're an ostrich. But the fact of the matter is, this guy's a domestic terrorist. He's embracing Hugo Chavez publicly. This has been documented, so the relationship between these two is tight. Chavez and Ayers. So, now let's take it another step further. Bill Ayers is a very good friend of Barack Obama. There is no question there. They did work together. There's no question there. They officed together. There's no question there. Now, when Hugo Chavez tells Barack Obama to follow the path to socialism, Chavez is saying in the story I just read to you, he knows that's the path Barack Obama's on. He loves it. He loves he's embraced it. He sees that's where they're headed already. Get on board the socialism train. Well, Ayers, Obama's good friend, again, very tight, lauds publicly, openly, often, Chavez, for his embrace of socialism and his slapdown of capitalism. Bill Ayers and Hugo Chavez seem to share the same politics. Bill Ayers and Obama share the same politics. Now, where does this lead us? One more interesting story. Do you recall before Barack Obama took to the White House, there was an issue of his BlackBerry? Do you notice how that just went away? Nobody talked about this. Barack Obama could not leave the BlackBerry. And for people that don't know what that is, the handheld device that basically allows you to communicate via email and things like that, text, whatever, without your computer. Well, that was Barack Obama's deal. He was on the campaign trail all the time with it, couldn't part with it, made a big deal about how he couldn't part with it, loved it. The media thought it was cute. They wrote about it. And after he won, the press thought it was so cute. Oh, you're so addicted to your BlackBerry. What are you going to do with that BlackBerry? You can't use the BlackBerry. Why couldn't he use it? The Constitution, the Sunshine Laws in place, the freedom of press, BlackBerries are not traceable. They're not trackable. And when you become president of the United States, guess what? Everything you do, everything you say, all your meetings, all your phone calls, all your emails. George Bush, go look this up. George Bush stopped emailing his own daughters from his White House office very early on in his administration because it was public record. Even his email correspondence to his family and friends privately is public record. It's all to be documented. Well, Barack Obama had this BlackBerry. That's different. You can't track that kind of stuff. And guess what? There were real legal hassles trying to get around. How am I going to get to keep the BlackBerry? Obama worried about how he'd get to keep it. He got to keep it. I'll have to go back and look up the story, the legal wranglings they went through. I don't even know that there was much. I just remember, what are you going to do without it? He said, well, I don't know. We're trying to work it out. Boom. Surprise. All of a sudden, he keeps it. So don't forget this. Barack Obama's got the BlackBerry attached to the hip at all times. This is the first time in presidential history that a sitting United States president has had a communication device that is untraceable, untrackable, not monitored, not public record. Do you understand that? Nobody talks about it. It's as though it's not even important. Everything presidents of the United States ought to... Look, is Bob Woodward going to write a book about Obama's BlackBerry someday? Can we... After all we've read about this White House engaging in media blacklists, can we safely assume that these enterprising journalists like Woodward are going to write new books about the secret blacklists and the secret communique on BlackBerries? between Obama and his staff and his administration? We don't know. We don't know what they're saying. It's not traceable. You can't find it. Now, you want to take this to the ultra sinister level? Where do you want to take it? 800-449-8255. Who do you suppose he's talking to on that BlackBerry? Who does he want to keep on his hip, in his pocket, literally, on the BlackBerry? Who is it he can talk to, untraceable, by anyone and everyone, including the press, you and me? No one will ever get to see who he communicates with on that BlackBerry. Now, why would he want that kind of access, that kind of privacy, that kind of intimate communique? Who's he talking to? Certainly worth a discussion. It could be Ayers. Isn't it worth a discussion? Isn't it possible? Isn't it possible that his friends back in Chicago, like Bill Ayers, might be someone he's talking to? Because after all, we cannot have White House records with a domestic terrorist on the line, on the hard line. We can't have email exchanges with a domestic terrorist from the president that's actually traceable through the Freedom of Information Act. Can't have it. Bill Ayers can't be seen going into the Oval Office. Bill Ayers can't be on phone logs. He can't be traced on email logs. But that's where a BlackBerry comes in. So that's what I've done here tonight on the Savage Nation. What do you think of that? 800-449-8255. 800-449-8255. Chris Stigall in for Michael Savage. This is the Savage Nation.
Savage.